Good morning, Raptor freaks. Lexiot's here, and today is a preview for a game today this evening at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Cairns Taipans visiting the Toronto Raptors today at Scotiabank Arena. So let's do our main event marquee matchup to start off today's preview right now. Get ready for this right now, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Scotiabank Arena in beautiful downtown Toronto, Ontario, Canada. In this corner, in the ring, we have tonight an animal fight. And on this side, first we introduce the handler from Sudan at 6'7", 207 pounds. This is Bolko. And his fighter is in the green duffel bag over his shoulder. He will now open the bag and empty the fighter into the ring from Cairns, Australia. This is a 10-foot long, 7-pound Taipan poisonous venomous snake. Now entering the arena, the opposition. First, the handler from London, United Kingdom, 6'7", 232 pounds, OG Anunoby. And his animal fighter for today's bout, with the hood over its eyes on the arm of Mr. Anunoby, is a 2.5-foot tall, 4.5-pound, the boy, the great horned owl. That's right, folks. Today in our fight, in the animal fight, we have a Cairns Taipan snake from Australia against a great horned owl from the city of Toronto here in Toronto. Who will win this animal bout? An owl? A raptor owl, or a Cairns Taipan snake? We'll have to find out next time. That's right, your mascot matchup is now a real main event marquee matchup. That's right, baby. Let's get it on. Let's get ready to dribble. I'm going to get better with those over time. All right, yeah, there's your main event marquee matchup. I could just see OG coming out like wearing all like the falconer gear, like those guys that are like falconers. And he's holding the owl on his arm. And the owl has the thing over its head, just like in the, you know what I'm talking about. That shit's hilarious. All right, y'all. All right, let me get right into other stuff real quick. Here's your latest lineup news. It looks like we are going to have some people held out for this game right away. Darko Rajakovic in an interview yesterday saying Jakob Poeltl will not be playing today. Apparently, Poeltl has a little bit of a cold, but he was going to play anyway. Cairns Taipans doesn't have anybody on their team over 6'9". So the usage of Jakob is not necessary today. In fact, we don't really need any of the starting lineup today. I think that Darko kind of nodded that we're not going to see a whole lot of those guys for a lot of time today, for sure. Also, Precious practicing yesterday, but no contact in practice. But he was a full participant in practice with no contact. He will not be playing today. Otto Porter Jr. will not be playing today. I think those are really the only injuries that are for sure with the Raptors that won't be out there. Scottie Barnes on Twitch yesterday from about 2:30 till about 5 o'clock for about 2.5 hours, hanging out with him. He says he's playing today. He's very much ready to play today, and he wants to play today. We were saying in the chat, it's like, all right, Scott, maybe you're going to get out there for 15 minutes, and maybe you'll score like 20-plus points, but I don't expect you to play more than a quarter today. If you play more than a quarter today, I'd be shocked. Because honestly, this is the game in the preseason schedule for the Raptors to really go look at their deep bench. They need to go look at guys like Mogi and Makur Maker and give them a chance to show what they got today against the Cairns Taipans. Of course, very interesting things surrounding this Cairns Taipans team right now. They don't have a lot of players with them on this team right now. There's only like 9 people traveling with them. And of course, we've got like a 21-man roster for training camp. And we'll probably have like 3 or 4 guys sit for sure, but they don't have the manpower. So it's like not even like that. They just don't have enough players, and they don't have any height. They're just not a match in any kind of way. So this is that kind of game where Darko can really use this game today to really get good deep looks at guys at the end of the bench and really suss them out and think about whether these guys are a fit or what a part of the plan going forward will be. This matchup's going to be fun. As I said, Cairns doesn't have a whole lot of players. They don't have a lot of height. And they also have a coach that's under fire right now for getting into backs behind the scenes skirmishes. Wanting to fight Aaron Baines outside the locker room was not a good look last weekend. And he's under fire in the NBL by the officials around the league. So Adam Ford, the coach of Cairns Taipans, is very much in controversy right now. In fact, yesterday on Scottie's Twitch, I was telling Scottie about this. I was like, Scottie, the coach of the team y'all are playing tomorrow, he's in trouble because he tried to fight Aaron Baines backstage last weekend in an NBL game against Sydney Kings. And Scottie's like, what, Raptors Freak? And he's like, what? And he's like, he asked for more information. He's like, Raptors Freak, tell me more. This guy's always knowing what's going on. The Raptors Freak is what Scottie said yesterday. I love that. That made my heart grow great, big and warm because he recognizes that I'm on top of things. And I was informing him about his opponent tomorrow. I mean, I guess it's Cairns Taipans. And Scottie's not really looking forward not really scouting them because he probably doesn't feel the need. They probably scout him a little bit and tell him something this morning. But for the most part, it's not like it's a team he's played before ever. It's not like it's a squad that he's going to have to play a lot. So why would he do the background work on it? So when I came in with the background work and I was telling him about their team, he's like, thanks, Raptors Freak, for letting us know some things about the Cairns Taipans. He had no idea about the controversy with Adam Ford, and he wanted the details. He was like getting the info from me. He's Raptors Freak, tell me more. And then he even gave me a ringing endorsement. He said, Raptors Freak always knows everything. That's what he said. I love it, Scott. I love you, man. And thanks for recognizing that about me. And I'm a resource for you, young man. If you see me in the chat, which you will, you can always ask me for answers to questions and different things, whatever it is. I can help you out, Scott. That's for sure. So a lot of fun on the stream with Scottie yesterday. He's loose. He's in a good mood, man. He's in such a good mood right now. He's with his buddy from Brazil, Nardo, who's up visiting and going to the game today and going to be around Scott for a few days, which is awesome. I love seeing him pal around with his broski. And they were playing video games and just having a good time, playing a lot of 2K yesterday. Scottie was awesome. He listened to Kai Jones's song yesterday. We're listening to Kai Jones, and I'm going to tell y'all right now, he may be kind of out to lunch in certain ways right now with his basketball career and what's going on with him. I worry about his mental health, but this kid is actually super talented when it comes to rap, the hip hop. He has a flow, and the way he changed his up is amazing. The track that we listened to with Scott yesterday, it's not cut up or edited. The man switches up with the beats and just masterfully, and he actually has some really good skills. So in some ways, he's a butt of a joke for a lot of people right now, but honestly, respect the man's lyrical skills. Kai Jones is actually a badass, and Scottie gave it his seal of approval. He listened to his single, and he was grooving to it. He's like, this is actually real good. Infinity Money, all this stuff. He was like really getting into it. He's like, no, actually, I got to tell y'all, this is tough. This is good. This is good. That's what Scott's final declaration on Kai Jones' song is. We were joking around about him coming to Toronto and stuff like that. And we're like, kind of, no, we're already set. We don't need him to come here. He'd be just a distraction. And I don't know. He needs some help first before he comes and plays more in the NBA. So, yeah, very interesting Twitch stream with Scott. Very interesting drop by Dennis on YouTube yesterday. Darko with an interview also. All stuff we can talk about and cover today on the preview for the game tonight. Cairns Taipans, that's right. Once again, also, I'm going to this game today. And if anybody that's here watching the stream right now wants to go to the game with me, it's your chance. I'll be outside the arena today at 4:20 beside the columns. And anybody who wants to come into the game and get tickets with me, just come on down. Seriously, I will find us tickets no matter what. You don't need a ticket to come down there. Just come on down. We'll get you a ticket, and we'll put them all together, and we'll sit I'm not hoping we can sit down on the 100 level. I'm pretty sure we will be able to. So if you're interested in going to the game with me, come down to Scotiabank Arena, the Jurassic Park, right out front. I'll be standing outside, and you can come say, "Hey, Raptorsfreak," and I'll be like, "Hey, I don't know you because I've only see your name, but I want to know you. Let me know who you are, and come on down. We'll go. Hopefully, we can get a nice group. I know Sue's thinking about coming from out of town. David and Peter Saborn hopefully be there. So we'll have a couple of different people there for sure. So I hope y'all can come join me also. All right, let's do the next part of the stream, the ref report. Now, today, the ref report doesn't really matter because we're playing Cairns, and Cairns doesn't really have a record with the refs. So I can't really juxtapose how the refs ref this team versus us and who has an advantage. All I can say is the three refs, who they are, will do the ref report, like as far as the food they like. And we'll also talk about the Raptors' percentage of winning under these refs. I'm going to tell you right now, we don't have a friendly ref crew for the Raptors as normal. Or not like if I'm looking at it, I would tell you 2 out of 3 don't like us, and one of them's okay. But it doesn't matter because it's Cairns Taipans, and we're going to kick their ass no matter what, even if the referees aren't our friends. So let's do the refs right now. Our crew chief for today is Courtney Kirkland. Yes, we know Courtney Kirkland really well. He was riding around on the little ATV last year, trying to be a more friendly, nice guy. But honestly, he's a hard ass, and he can be a real jerk too. Courtney's from Flint, Michigan. His favorite TV show is Billions. His favorite movie is The Matrix. His favorite book is Total Money Makeover. And once again, we don't see the food listed on here anymore. It's too bad. Courtney helps train and develop referees through the Manage the Grays officiating camp, and he enjoys playing golf, exercising, and writing. Now, Courtney is down in that area with Scott Foster and those guys as far as like how we win with him around. He's actually just slightly worse than Scott Foster and just slightly worse than Tom Washington. We win 44% of the time when Courtney Kirkland is refereeing. So in some ways, he's not been a friendly ref to us over the years. He really, really hasn't. He's in that Scott Foster area of things, Ed Malloy, Scott Foster area. Now, the second referee is Eric Dalen. He's a bit more of a friendly ref to us. He's the nice ref to us today. Not that it matters. He's from Minnesota. His favorite TV show is NCIS. His favorite movie was We Are Soldiers. Favorite musician, Zach Brown, and he likes to eat chili. Now, Eric Dalen played college football as a tight end at the University of Minnesota, and he's married and he has 4 children. That's right. Eric Dalen was a football player and a tight end. He's the friendliest ref to us today. We win percentage-wise when Eric Dalen is around 64% of the time with Eric Dalen is around. He is a nicer ref. He's right around the Ben Taylor range, Evan Scott range for us. So we like Eric Dalen. He's our nice ref today. Not that these things matter, but I'm going through the motions of doing the ref report and how we got to suss whether they're good for us or not. I have to go through the motions of this. The young ref, the third ref, is Robert Hussey. Robert Hussey is one of the younger refs that has not been nice to us. Born in Queens, New York, went to University of Central Florida. His favorite TV show is Chappelle's Show. He likes Aki with yellow yam for his food. His favorite musician is J. Cole of the CEBL Scarborough Shooting Stars. So, yeah, Robert Hussey is interesting. He likes cooking vegan food, and he started out in the G League and the WNBA as a referee. Robert Hussey, when we are playing, has a percentage of he is just slightly better than Courtney Kirkland. We win 44% of the time also when Robert Hussey is present. So our 3 refs for today, Courtney Kirkland, Eric Dalen, and Robert Hussey. And honestly, it's not who cares? We're playing the Taipans. We're going to kick their ass no matter what. The score is going to end up being like 150-70. And, these referees don't really matter. But I got to go through the motions of doing the ref report because I got to get ready for the season. And these are going to matter starting on Tuesday, even more so. When we go play the Chicago Bulls at the United Center Tuesday night. Yeah, the ref report will be there for you. All right, there you go. There's my preview for y'all. Starting out the game, there's your main event marquee matchup. OG and the Owl versus Bull Cole and the Taipan. And then also your latest lineup news, Precious, Jakob, Otto, all out for today, and possibly other guys too. They just haven't named yet. I'm expecting them to possibly sit Siakam and also OG also. But I could see the younger guy like Scott getting out there and getting a run a little bit, especially because he wants to. And then your referees there. All right, let's see what y'all are saying in the chat this morning. Let's go. Cowboys saying, good morning, Lex. Bam, and Raptor Freaks. Good morning to you, Cowboy. Always good to see you. It's game day. Let's go, Raptors. That's right. Game day, y'all. It's been a little bit of a time. A lot of fans saying that they're having blue balls for Raptors basketball because of the week off. Y'all, seriously, chill out. We need to do this and ramp up and do this the right way. I love that we had a week off between the Sacramento game and this game today because it allowed for a second week of training camp here in Toronto at the OVO Center. These guys were working out hard all week. We've seen in Dennis's latest YouTube content that him going to OVO Center quite a bit. Scottie coming straight from OVO Center yesterday after when he got on his Twitch. He had said he had been at OVO for 8 hours before he came home, and he went on Twitch at 2:30. So you do the math. That man was up early and down at OVO and working his ass off like crazy. So yeah, I like this week off between the last game and today's game because it allowed Darko more time to really implement his new system and get these guys learning it. In some ways, having the games and the travel in between, it kind of is a distraction. So getting that first week in Vancouver, doing official training camp that week, and then playing one game, and then coming right back to Toronto on Monday and doing a whole other week here in our own facilities. This is good. This is good. We needed this time for Darko to really hammer in the concepts and the ideas that he wants these guys to do to execute in his system. So I have no problem with them having this amount of time between this, y'all. Does it matter whether y'all get basketball right quick, like your fix every couple days, or does it matter that our team gets their shit together correctly and they play really well? I think that the second thing matters more. So thank goodness we can see them play today and the wait will be over. But patience is a virtue, Raptors fans. And them being able to work this whole week without any games is good. Now they have 3 left this week, today, Tuesday, and Friday for preseason. And this is good. This is the time when you want these games at the end of the preseason schedule. So you're really like getting to test them against real competition. So I'm excited about it. I didn't mind this break because I knew the work that was being put in this week is so valuable. So valuable. Yeah, Cowboys saying mascot matchup. Not really. In some ways, it was an animal fight. When I was thinking about this, I was like, it's like the old reminiscent cockfighting. They put the roosters in the fight and they say, go fight. Now, I'm going to tell y'all, I'll predict that this fight is pretty simple what happens. Because listen, it's the Taipans and it's the Raptors. And this game today is not going to be fair. It's not going to be fair in any kind of way. When the Wizards played the Taipans the other day, they dominated them and made them look silly. And the Wizards aren't as good as us. So we are going to kick Cairns Taipans' ass today. Like, this isn't even going to be like fair. And in some ways, we're going to see a lot of Ron Harper Jr. today, a lot of Marquise Noel, a lot of Grady Dick. So strap yourself in and get ready to see the youngsters get a lot of time out there, and they may look real good. It could be really fun to watch Marquise in this game today because he's going to get time to operate. Now, the point guard for the Cairns Taipans is very interesting. I was telling Scottie about him yesterday because they were talking about in 2K, if you make a build with over Burley build is what they were talking about it. How does that help your defense? Or how does that help your character in an NBA 2K build? Like if you make them very burly, like big, huge arms. Well, I told Scott, I was like, well, you should go check out Patrick Miller tomorrow when you're playing Cairns Taipans, because he is the real life version of what you're talking about on 2K right now. It's seriously true. You know those memes with the dog with the really big muscles? Like it's like there's one dog that's normal, and then they show the dog like when he's pumped up on steroids. It's a white dog usually. Yeah, that's what this dude looks like. He's only 6'1", but he has the biggest muscles I've ever seen on a basketball player. He may be 6'1", but he has bigger muscles than Serge. He has bigger muscles than Shaq. in some ways. Like if you see him today, you're going to see what I'm talking about. And you'll be like, holy crap, Lex was right. This Patrick Miller guy's got biceps like Hulk Hogan's 24-inch pythons. So yeah, it's weird because he's only 6'1". He's 31 years old, and he's been around in international basketball leagues for a while. So he's not an NBA player. He's an international player, but he has a very unique build to him, and y'all will see it later when you watch the game. Patrick Miller, yeah, it's very, very interesting. Very interesting. I hope y'all like the marquee main event matchup. I'm still working out the bugs. It's preseason, of course. You got to work out the bugs, and I'll get it more down pat as the season goes on, and you'll see what it's like. But that competition is going to be interesting. First of all, I'll tell you, that snake doesn't have a chance because, first of all, the snake don't eat the owl. The owl eats the snake. And the owl is going to be eating the snake today. That's just natural. I mean, you know, these owls that we have in Toronto, great horned owls, are very much eating snakes. So the snake's not going to get the owl unless he can get its poison in him and hurt him and kill him that way. Maybe, but probably not. It's got to be really quick, and the owl's more likely to win the battle. So one of the things I was doing when I was doing the research, if y'all saw on the channel, I had a poll earlier this week. Which owl do you think the Drake owl is in real life? You know, the symbol of OVO, that Drake owl, October's very own, is a very important symbol to the Raptors organization at this point. We see it on our jerseys. We see it at our practice center. It's just an important part of our culture. Well, that owl, I was wondering, I'll put it to you guys, what real life owl would it be? Now, I decided to go with the great horned owl for this mascot marquee matchup, partly because it's the biggest owl that I could have chose from. I mean, I get it. That owl that Drake uses could either be that great horned owl or the barn owl, because the barn owl is that little white one with the face. But if you look at the Drake symbol, it's got little ears that kind of tuft up. And that's why it's kind of like the great horned owl. This weird too, because there's also pictures of Drake with owls, and they're great horned owls, but there is a picture of him with a barn owl also. So yeah, I don't know. If you haven't filled out your response to that poll that I put up on this channel about what do you think is the real life owl of the Drake owl, please let your answer go in there to the results so we can see more of a bigger picture. But yeah, that's why I put that poll up, because I was wondering what owl should I make the marquee matchup. I was like, great horned owl. I think that is the right owl for Drake's owl. Great horned owl. I think that is. And of course, it's a very common owl in our area. You'll see them. You won't see them, but they're around Toronto. They're in our areas or wooded areas around downtown Toronto. So it's not something weird or out of place. Trevor J is here. Good to see Commissioner J, the Commissioner J Cup, my microphone earlier. Good morning, Raptors family. Happy Sunday and game day. Let's go, Raptors. And I see that we've got Pascal, OG, Jakob, Scottie, Dennis. Is that Darko and Masai? Who is that? Is that Darko and Masai? Yeah, that's Darko and Masai. And then the Raptors. Good to see Trevor J this morning, always. Tom Duke saying, good morning. Twitch session with Bully Barnes. Good report. How do you think Brad Stevens explained a need for hiring Van Gundy to present coach Joe? Good news. Good information from Tom Duke this morning. Yeah, the fun with Scottie was fun. He was loose, and it was cool. At one point, cool cat, I wish you had been there, because he had a lot of Karti content on the stream yesterday. At one point, he got Karti to come and sit in his lap, and he was petting Karti, and Karti turned around, put her butt up in his face, and it was all fun. And Erica Plays was enjoying it. I was like joking with Erica. This is the content that the Karti content that Cool Cat and Erica were waiting for, that came on the Twitch stream yesterday. Scottie very much being that puppy, that doggy daddy, and loving his dog very much on the stream yesterday. And the dog is big, healthy, and happy. That's what I'll say right now. One idiot in the chat said, that dog's so ugly. I'm like, who is this guy? Get him out of here, moderators. And I'm like, how can you say that about Karti? Such a beautiful, sweet dog. You said that dog is so ugly. The dog don't look like any other Rottweiler, like worse or better. It's just the Rottweiler. It looks like a Rottweiler. How do you say that dog looks ugly? That dog is beautiful. And how dare you say something like that? Idiot in the chat. There were a couple idiots in there. Leaf Nation being idiots in Scottie Barnes Twitch chat yesterday again. Again, same ones too. Same guys, Tom. Oh my gosh, that Marner guy, whatever. You're an idiot, man. Let's see. All right, let's see. The Brad Stevens stuff. All right, this is very interesting. Yesterday, the Celtics hired Jeff Van Gundy to be a senior consultant for the Boston Celtics. I think this is kind of a couple different things. First of all, Jeff Van Gundy's out of work all of a sudden, being fired or let go by ESPN to cover the games with Mike Breen. So he's a free agent right now. Now, he doesn't want to coach straight up. That's a lot of stress and a lot of work and a lot of travel, and he is older. But, Jeff, he wants to still be working and catching a check. So in some ways, this is a job of convenience. He lives over in New York in that area near Boston, and he will be going to them because it's convenient for his life. And in some ways, he still wants to work. So the Celtics have hired him as a senior consultant, but I'm hearing that he's going to be bouncing back and forth between the Celtics and the main Celtics. So he's going to be really kind of living in that New England area. I think he already lives around there anyway because ESPN is there, right? So it's just a conveniency thing. I don't think he's picking any team over any other team for any reason. He's historically a Knicks guy, and he's also been with a lot of other teams in different capacities also. This is unfortunate because Van Gundy is very smart and he can help the Boston Celtics. But it's interesting because of what I've been saying about Coach Joe. In fact, it was funny. There was a Celtics fan in Scottie's stream yesterday that I absolutely got him so worried with what I've been saying about the Celtics. I told him Coach Joe is a fraud. He was exposed by Coach Spoelstra in the playoffs last season, and he's not very smart. And there's going to be a coaching problem there because the fans of Celtics are going to not believe in Coach Joe, and they're going to want them to fire him and hire Sam Cassell or Charles Lee, or maybe now Jeff Van Gundy, since he's attached to it. So in some ways, Tom, I look at it this way. Van Gundy coming to the Celtics may make it harder for Joe in a way, because now Celtics fans could say, well, we got Jeff Van Gundy in our organization. Why don't we just make him the coach? More of those names around Coach Joe helping him, the more it hurts him in a way, because the Celtics fans will see an alternative in case Joe's losing a lot. This is the thing. And I told that Celtics fan yesterday, I don't think y'all are going to be better. He's like, what are you talking about? Casuals only say that take. Well, no, casuals are listening to the NBA hype machine and just buying into it. No, real ones are thinking about this critically outside of the NBA hype machine. And I'm going to say this right now. The Celtics are going to be worse defensively this year than they were in the last couple of years. They just are. There's just no getting around it. When you have Porzingis involved as a key player, you have bad defense. And that's just how it's going to go. You can, sure, you got Drew Holiday, and that's a great defensive point guard. But at what cost? You lost like 4 good defensive players going out the other way. Marcus Smart, Grant Williams, Robert Williams, and Malcolm Brogdon. So I think the Celtics had so much going out as far as quality, leadership, heart, dog, determination, defense, that they don't even realize how much they really just sent out and lost. In some ways, I don't think they upgraded their team this year. In fact, their win column's going to show it this year. And this scared the shit out of this Celtics fan. He was like, I don't think you're right, Raptorsfreak. You're lying. You're lying. I'm like, well, we'll see who's right in a couple months then, young man. Since you're so scared about what I'm saying, that's right. This is what I see. He's like, you sound crazy. I'm like, no, if you really think about it, what I'm saying makes sense. And we'll see in a couple months, Celtics fan. Yeah, we'll see in a couple months. Could be that people are saying, we want Jeff Van Gundy to coach the Celtics. Could very well be that. Canadian Dana is here. Good morning, everyone. Happy game day. That's right. Let's go Raptors. Let's beat the NBL's Cairns Taipans today. Once again, if y'all want to go to the game, come with me. 4:20, I'll be outside. Just say, hey, Lex. Hey, Raptorsfreak. And I'll be like, hey, what's up? Edmund's here. Good to see Race Mode Daily. Good morning, Lex and Raptor Freaks. It's always a great day when we are playing ball. I have to give to your Lex for being able to hang with Scottie on the stream. He knows you have the answer. Yeah, Edmund was there also, and I appreciate he put an endorsement for me in the stream, which looked really good. Edmund said, y'all, Raptors Freak is on every day at 9:30. Come and watch him. You know this. I appreciate that, Race Mode, so much. And yeah, wasn't that a cool moment? Seeing Scottie kind of saying, Raptors Freak, you always know stuff. Of course, in other places in the chat, there's one of these guys, a Penserite, was in there saying, Scottie, you should follow Penser. Penser's your number one fan. He loves you. Scottie's ignoring all that shit. Meanwhile, Scottie's saying the Raptorsfreak knows everything. And thank you, Raptorsfreak, for telling me about this and stuff like that. So there you go. There's levels to this. Robert, if you ever met Scottie and we were there and he's like, Scottie, who you going to choose? You going to choose this guy or this guy? Well, I don't know this guy. I know this guy. That's a Raptorsfreak. And I'm going with him. That's right. That's right. That's just the damn truth about things. And thank you, Edmund, for being there and promoting me. It was very awesome. That was very cool of you. And I appreciate that. It was nice having the contingency of the Raptor Freaks in there. Erica plays. Respect to you and respect back to me from her. Amit Gaming in there with us. Of course, Amit in Israel in there with Scottie Barnes also yesterday. Big props to him. The Raptor Freak family is strong in Scottie Barnes' Twitch family every single time with Edmund and us all there. It's awesome. It's awesome. Trevor J saying, loyalty, it's the key to make it. We rise together and we fall together. As they say, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. Words of wisdom from Trevor J. Stay loyal, stay together. You can go far places. You can go somewhere on your own. You can go quickly on your own, and you may go slower with others, but you get further with others. I think that's what they say there too. Yeah, I agree with this. And the loyalty in these kind of things is very strong. Scottie's really funny. Like he's very interesting how he deals with his stream now. He won't just read your comment out. He mumbles it. So half the stuff I was writing, he'd be like, and then he like thinks about whether he should say it or not. He's really getting more and more savvy. And he's in some ways he's like he's still that young kid, but it's becoming more and more a less percentage of his persona. In some ways, he let his guard down because he knows it's just about to start the season. And he go on Twitch right now, but I don't know how much he's going to Twitch this season. If the vibes are good and we're winning a lot and there's no problem, then maybe he will. But I'm not holding my breath, and I'm just enjoying the times when he does jump on and getting to spend time with Scottie. He's awesome. He's so awesome. And he's really positive, and like you can tell he's in a really good place. It's very different than last summer. In some ways, the way he was on Twitch last summer is different than the way he's on Twitch right now. It's very different. Cowboys got the whole team on blast. He's got Darko and Masai and Mo and I love it. And there's Darren from Jakarta. I love it. It's freaks. 6 waiting, 6 likes. There. Thank you, Darren. Always good to see you, my man. Hopefully good things and good weather wherever you are right now, sir. Let's see what else you guys are saying this morning. All right, let me jump ahead. About Cowboys saying, I think we should all put Lex on blast for getting us through the off season. Let's grow. Everyone smash the like button. I appreciate that, Cowboy. It was my pleasure to have all the fun this season and this off season and get us through this off season. That FIBA World Cup really helped a lot, and I really did enjoy the coverage of the FIBA World Cup. And I thank you guys for being there with me in those early game moments, early morning games and stuff. Yeah, lots of good fun this summer with the trivia and all kinds of different fun hijinks. And Bradley, I hope I'll see you later today, possibly. Cowboys saying, any updates on Koloko? I know he's not playing today. Yeah, there's nothing yesterday. And once again, people are saying the silence on it and nobody want to talk about it is not good. I straight up asked Scott yesterday, what's going on with Koloko? And he ignored me. He won't answer that question. So they're really holding this tight to their chest, and they're not talking about Koloko anywhere. Even Scottie yesterday on stream, he wouldn't let us know. Yeah, there you go. Darren saying 10 waiters, 10 likers. All right, whatever we got, we're going to get it, Darren. And the numbers to me, the stats on the court for the Raptors are more important than my stats on YouTube. That's for sure. Tom Duke has got a Cowboy on blast with me and fireworks. I like that. Cowboy saying, what's up, Tom? Good morning, Dana and Trevor. What's up, everybody? 6:32 Pacific time. Let's go, Tom Duke. That's right. It's Raptor versus Snake. That's right. That Raptor going to chomp the snake, or owl versus snake. The owl is technically a raptor. So it's really kind of fits really well, the OVO owl being around our team, because that owl is considered a raptor. You can ask any animal people. They'll say, yeah, an owl is a raptor. So, our OVO owl is technically a raptor. It always has been all along. Who's going to beat the owl? Who's going to step up the OG? That little snake, the Cairns Taipan is a very dangerous snake. Over in Australia, that snake will eat bandicoots and small rodents, but it doesn't normally eat a big bird like an owl. No, it doesn't. They can be very dangerous. They're venomous snakes and they can bite people. They are just like a cottonmouth or a rattlesnake. And in some ways, you need to be careful in Australia of the taipan. The taipan can be very deadly to people. Yeah, yeah, very, very deadly. You got to watch out for those taipans if you're living in Australia. A lot of animals in Australia will kill you. That's what I've heard. A lot of animals over there will kill you. That's right. Trevor saying, good morning to you, Cowboy. Good morning to you, Trevor J. Always happy to see the commissioner. G saying, good morning. Let's get ready to dribble. Laugh out loud. No matter how grown up we feel, giddy in game day. That's right. On some days when you know that the Raptors are playing, you just bounce out of bed, especially at the beginning of the season when we haven't been playing a whole lot. That's right. Keep this enthusiasm all year long, baby. That's what I want. That's right, G. Mo's here. Good to see super fan Monique Lawrence. Good morning, Raptor Freak family. Happy game day. I love it. I love it. I love it, Mo. Wasn't that a great clip yesterday with Dennis Schroeder on YouTube showing going to the OVO Center? Very interesting talks about food. He went to dinner at somebody's house with the team, and I couldn't tell who it was. Scottie wouldn't tell us once again yesterday, secret stuff around the team that they can and cannot talk about. Well, Dennis showed that he was pulling up to somebody's house, and I don't know if that was Bridal Path in Drake's house. I think it was. That's who I'm going to guess they were at dinner at this week. There was a team dinner at a mansion, and Dennis came out of it and told the guys when he came back out in the bus that the place was amazing. It had a car garage and a basketball court, and it was just like really, really awesome. I'm guessing that was Drake's house, that maybe they went and had dinner at Drake's, or maybe they had dinner at Nav's. It's either Nav Bhatia or Drake, I'm guessing, but who knows for sure. A team dinner was had in the last few days for the Raptors at somebody's house, and Dennis went. He caught like a little bit of it. We just caught a little bit of it. Let's see. Fiercey is, or Cowboy saying, there you go, waking up the neighborhood again. They already woke up, actually. My neighbors upstairs woke me up. The baby upstairs, who's 2 years old, was very loud and woke me up. And then they got up, and I think they went to church. So they're already out the door. So they woke me up. And then they left, and I was loud after they left. So we're good, Cowboy. We're good. Fiercey saying, good morning, fam, and happy Sunday. Bam. Was able to watch the stream yesterday. Thank you for mentioning James Wade's presser. I also truly enjoyed his energy and sense he wants to learn and win. He's like a bird of a feather. We are collecting them to flock together. Darko, Masai, Teresa Resch, Bobby Webster, James Wade. That's what I'm saying. They're all like-minded individuals that want to win and try and do things at a high level. All kinds of research, all kinds of talking to people, finding out things, just going above and beyond. That's the characteristic of some of these people. Darko looks like he has only been eating and breathing and sleeping Raptors basketball since he got hired by us. And I'm all about that. Coach, go home and say hi to your wife at least a little bit before the season starts, because you do have a family still. Cowboys saying good morning to Mo. Good morning to Fiercey. Raps Love saying, yo, get off his D. Laugh out loud. Just kidding. And some people were saying that to me yesterday, and Scottie corrected them. I said this to him. All right, because we were talking about this. Scottie was saying that he wanted to be, what was he wanting to be? He wanted to be, I forget what it was. They were talking about something, and he says, I want to be this. And then somebody was saying, you can't be that. And then Scottie was saying, why? Because I'm white? I'm black or something? I forget what it was. And then I wrote in the comments, this is Scottie's world. He can be whatever the hell he wants to be in this world. It's up to him. And then somebody is saying, oh, you're glazing him, Raptors Freak. And Scottie saw that comment. He said, no, he's not. He's not glazing me. And he said, he's like, no, he's not. And he like put the guy down for saying that shit. No, I believe this. This is true. In some ways, Scottie is an above and beyond kind of player that can do whatever he wants in the NBA. And in some ways, like it really is. Let's just sit back and watch and see what he can become. I don't know. I'm trying to encourage him and be a positive force. And some people say, well, that's dick riding or whatever, the stupid little terms people use these days. No, it's just encouragement. And in some ways, being a positive person, it shouldn't be frowned upon. It shouldn't be like, oh, I'm giving him compliments and trying to push him forward and make him feel good is a bad thing. I think there's just too much of this angst or stupidity in young people that can't be supportive of each other. Or you're kissing their ass. I guess that's the same term. It's like you're a brown noser. They're trying to say I'm a brown noser. Well, forgive me for trying to encourage the franchise player of my favorite team that I absolutely ride or die for to go for the highest levels of things. And Scottie stood up for me. Honestly, he likes me a lot. He reads my comments a lot on his stream, and he has a lot of respect for me. Obviously, from what he said to me yesterday about my knowledge and being on top of things. And he trusts me to a degree because he's listening to what I'm saying and he kind of listens seriously. So in some ways, I do have a matter of effect on him, a little bit of influence on him because he respects I know what I'm talking about. So it's a weird thing. I mean, people were saying that yesterday, like, yo, you're such an ass kisser, Raptor freak. No, I love the Raptors. And Scottie Barnes is our franchise player. Of course, I'm going to be popping him up, pushing him up. I call it hype. Just call me Flavor Flav in Public Enemy. I'm hyping Chuck D up. That's what I'm doing. Yo, boy, that's what I'm saying. I'm a hype man. If I can be a hype man for Scottie, I'm going to be a hype man and start telling his legend to the rest of the world. When they don't want to look at it, they're all like, no, Scottie's not going to be this. Scottie's not that. You ain't looking. And I'm calling it out. Call me Paul Revere. Scottie is coming. Scottie is coming. That's right. The British are coming. Scottie is coming. He's coming to destroy your team this year in the NBA. That's right. Yeah, but it was funny. People were saying that yesterday, and Scottie set them straight. He said, no. Raptorsfreak is not that, is what he said. It's hilarious. Let's see. Cowboys saying, Raps Love, you talking about Grady? No, Scottie. No, I know what Raps Love is talking about. And people think that in that stream. It's younger people. They're all like, oh, you're an ass kisser. Oh, you're glazing. All this stupid shit like that. I don't care about that, first of all. It's not an insult to me. If you're saying that I support the young man that plays for the basketball team that I watch, yes, that is the damn truth. That's right. Ain't nothing more than that. That's right. Raps Love is saying it was a joke because he kept talking about Scottie and Scottie this, Scottie that, and Scottie this, and how it's true. He's exactly right. There was a bit of that. Yeah. But once again, I look at my role in there. Look, there's a couple of things I'm doing when I'm on Scottie's Twitch in the chat. I'm fighting the other team's bullshit. I'm fighting the Leafs and their stupid spamming of like, I want a free jersey, making fun of Erica. I'm fighting against perceptions that are putting our guys down. You know, people that come in there, other fans of other teams are in there with us. And I'm in there fighting the good fight, the information war, and standing up for our team. So it's really that kind of things. In some ways, it's a propaganda fight. And I'm doing the propaganda fight for our team and the perception. You know, that's a lot of what it is, honestly. Tom Dukes retracted his message, and Rassler is saying very smart to spread the games out. It gives you time to correct what they were having problems with in the first game. Exactly. They can overanalyze that Sacramento Kings tape like so much. And really, really, like in some ways, like I said, Darko's the kind of coach that's going to see the problems kind of manifesting before they really get bad and go in the other direction and turn away from them. So there's a lot of fine tuning. There's a lot of like instruction, and there's just it's orientation. You want to get these guys feeling comfortable in what they're doing. And if you have more time behind closed doors to get the kinks worked out instead of trying to do it thrown in the fire in games, that's better. That's just better. Fiercely saying, I'm so bummed I missed Scottie on Twitch. Was busy yesterday and missed the notification. Forgot to mention Doc Rivers was commenting a game and he seemed comfortable. Too bad he works for ESPN though. Well, Doc used to do that job. He was a commentator before. Like he's kind of come, like he went from playing to commentating to coaching to commentating to coaching to commentating. It's been kind of like that. So he switches back and forth. But he's a very good commentator. He's done it a lot in the history. Like he was doing commentary in the early 2000s. So Doc Rivers is not new to the broadcast booth. And it's interesting, like the questions and the things, his opinions on things like Philadelphia, James Harden, and even the Raptors, those kind of things. When you hear him talk about that kind of stuff, that's interesting stuff to me, just seeing as he was the Sixers coach just last year and all the change. So, yeah, that's very interesting. It's too bad you missed it. You know, in some ways, Scottie being on a Saturday afternoon at that time, most people are going to be out having a life. Me, I'm doing my normal work at home. And some days I don't take any days off. So I'm working on the computer at home. And if I get that notification, boom, I'm in there. And that's why I'm always there. In some ways, yeah, I don't have a life. And if Scotty's going to be on Twitch, yeah, I'll be there. But I know most people at 2:30 in the afternoon on a Saturday, they're going to be outside doing things. Me, I was working. I don't take any days off. In fact, I'll work today a little bit before I go down to the game today. 7 days a week, baby. To live my life, that's how you got to do it. You got to work every day. That's right. And in some ways, part of work is being ready to watch Scott. Fiercey saying, game day, fam. Let's go. That's right. Yes, Fiercey. Raps Love saying, Doc Rivers is the most overrated head coach in NBA history. I can't disagree with this in some ways. He did get that championship with Boston that one time, but he's had so much failure in the playoffs. And he's such a weird coach in some ways. In some ways, the game's passed him by, honestly. He may have been a good coach around 2010, but at this point, like 15 years later almost, he's not really a good coach for today's game at this point. I think it's moved past him. So, broadcast booth for you now, Doc. And it really shows because nobody tried to pick you up and be the coach for them once you were, done with the Sixers. Yeah. Sheer Khan saying, good morning, Raptor Freak family. Another game day. Nice. Looking for more Grady time. Scottie is going to be way better than last year with the new look Raptors. OG is ready to take the next step. Siakam will shine, sharing the ball. Yeah, I like all those predictions, Sheer Khan. And you know what? I think most of them will come true. I think I really will. Today, hopefully, we get a lot of Grady Dick on the court. I'd like to see it. It was funny. In Dennis's clip yesterday, they have the Atelier drip, and they want to give it to somebody, and somebody's coming out. Dennis had run in. First of all, he was late to practice, and he was mad at his guys for it. And you're saying, if I'm late, y'all got to pay me $500 because that's the fine if I'm late for practice. And holy shit, these guys are like, oh, we better drive quicker, and that lakeshore traffic better be quicker. But he gets there, and then they just hang out in the truck outside everything. And Alex said, they don't tell us jack shit. We're not allowed to know what's going on with him and the Raptors and what they're doing today. We don't know if it's a media day. We don't know what's going on. In some ways, the Raptors are keeping things hush-hush about what they do away from Dennis Schroeder's YouTube activities. And that is very good. Well, at one point, he called them and he said, hey, give the Atelier drip to somebody when they come out. And it was Grady. Grady came out of the OVO Center, and Alex gave it to him. And when he's coming back, Keith's in the car. And Keith is Dennis's personal trainer. He's like Brian Macon to Scottie. And Keith basically is like talking about Grady. He's like, that guy's really good. He's got a really good shot. Really, really good. And then he's saying, well, we'll have to see how much it translates to the NBA. It's very interesting. And, of course, also on that clip, Keith is shown inside OVO later that night with Dennis, putting him through his training workout. They did about a half an hour late after the dinner, I'm guessing, at Drake's house. They left the dinner at Drake's and went straight to the OVO Center, and Dennis worked out for a half an hour after that. And he was saying that he wants to build a facility like the OVO Center in Braunschweig for the team that he is involved in over there. He wants to get a court similar in offices, is what he was saying. Very interesting content from Dennis Schroeder yesterday. As always, oh my gosh, we see what he's eating. Kareem Thomas, you're going to have to get a burger with some garlic Parmesan fries from your wife if you want to continue the Ellen Schroeder meal plan at your house. That's what they had yesterday. It's all about the food. And also we found out that Dennis is a big fan of the Subway 3 cookies for $2 deal that they used to have. I don't know if that's the same deal anymore, but Dennis was reminiscent about playing in Atlanta and living near Atlanta Station, which is a big mall place. I know I've been there, and there's a Subway in it he used to go to all the time. And he'd ask the Subway workers to heat up the cookies for him a little bit so that when he had the chocolate chip cookie, he could pull it apart and the chips were all melty. He was reminiscing about quality Subway cookies, 3 for $2. And those were the good old days in Atlanta. Now, I don't know if you can get them for that price point at this point. The Subway cookies are probably more for 3. It's probably like $5 for 3 or something at this point. But yeah, Dennis, a lot of food talk yesterday. The food on Dennis's thing. And then, of course, Scottie's always talking about food on his channel, too. Let's see. Stargate is here. Good morning, Raptors Freak family. Happy game day. Happy game day to you, Stargate. Let's go. That's right. Jimmy Pope's here. What's up? What's up, Jimmy Pope? Let's be positive and let's go and get this Big dub tonight. Easy dub tonight. I'm not worried about tonight at all. Courtney Kirkland, you can't rain on my parade. Kareem Thomas is here. He said, I'm all in on Makur Maker. I watched his draft prep, and his trainer said he could be a top ISO big man in the league. I couldn't agree more. He's like a knockoff KD with lots of upside. He's very skilled. The thing about Maker that's weird is he has ball handling skills like a guard. He can actually dribble the ball up the court. And once again, from his interview on Friday, he says, like, look, any of us can lead this team. When he said that, I was like, sometimes when guys are like at the end of the roster and they're trying to make the team say that, I'm like, yeah, not everyone can lead the team. But when Maker says that, I believe him because he is a double-double machine and he does have major skills. So I'm excited about it too, Kareem. Hopefully we can carve out a path for him or something happens, but not hopefully at the detriment to Christian Coloco. In some ways, I really do feel like Maker is insurance for Christian right now. And if anything, hey, at least we got an upside insurance for sure. That's for sure. Cowboy saying, I seen a great horned owl in my twins' backyard last year. They're huge. It was like 2 feet tall and probably a 6-foot wingspan. Yeah, it's an amazing animal. And they're so important in some ways. And this is what I want to do a little PSA real quick. When y'all put rat poison and mouse poison out, you hurt the owls. They actually die too. So please think twice before using poisons to kill anything, whether it's plants or animals, because it doesn't just stop with them. It's a food chain, and the chain goes to other places. So if you see a big, huge, majestic owl like the one Cowboy saw in his brother's yard, realize that if you poison mice and rats, they will be eaten by the owl, and the owl could die too. So I'm anti-poisons and toxins, pesticides of any nature, and chemicals in your yard. Keep yourself natural world and keep the things nice and preserved, because there's already enough spraying and bullshit going on around the world in a commercial level that on the individual level, we shouldn't be mimicking that. And I want more legislation from the government to outlaw those kind of sprays and things that are going on in the woods right now. It's really, really bad for our ecosystem. So yeah, that's awesome. And you see the majestic bird. Those are the things that should be taking care of your pest control problem. That's what they do. They like to eat those mice and rats. So if you got owls around your house, they should be taking care of it. If not, some cats around your neighborhood. There's natural predators that you need to go and get to take care of those issues. I'm telling you, yeah. Jimmy Pope saying Through the Wire has us at 12th in the East, laughing my ass off. Yeah, whoever Through the Wire, through the ringer is what I'm gonna put them verbally right now. Yeah, you're ridiculous. Listen, I don't care what jabronis with channels or whatever are saying. I care about people like Reggie Miller. I care about scouts that have no reason to write an article or for clickbait, and they're really just coming back to report to their team. That's who I care about hearing from, because they're the ones that are like going to give it a real look. It's not going to be tainted by the U.S. media's agenda to sully us. And that's what I'm saying. Reggie Miller says we're going to be better. It's quoted by him. He says, I think Toronto's going to be better. They still got Scottie and OG and Pascal. So why aren't they going to be better? And then the scouts talking to Paul Jones the other day. That's a big tell. They're saying that they think that the Raptors are going to be better this year. So, Through the Wire, you better get it together real quick. And you might want to be starting to sing a new song, because your credibility might go out the window real quick once you see that is wrong. That is wrong. Thank you, Jimmy, for that. Fiercely saying, ooh, so Van Gundy got replaced by Doc. I had forgotten. And yes, Raps Love, there are better coaches than Doc. Yeah, I think Doc's just passed by. In some ways, the league has been changing so much, so quickly. And Doc's NBA of the 80s, when he played for the Hawks and other teams, it's a totally different game from when he played. And then even when he coached in his early coaching career with Orlando and Boston, this league is just very different. And in some ways, it's passing him by. It really is. I can say that. I can honestly say that. Yeah, Doc has replaced Van Gundy, and he's Doris Burke is there also. So yeah, they got rid of Van Gundy, and who was the other person they had with them? Mark Jackson. That's right, they're gone, and now it's Doris Burke and Doc Rivers with Mike Breen. Yeah, let's see. Stargate saying Jeff has stated publicly that he doesn't want to coach anymore, but who knows? He may change his mind. I could see them being like, I don't think he will. I think he's too old. I think you're right. And he has stated that publicly. But this is the level he'll do it. In some ways, it's like, is this overkill? Like, is he going to get along with Brad Stevens? Because in some ways, we know Brad Stevens is the one running that team, really. I mean, he's a GM. He was the coach before. In a lot of ways, I've said this before. Coach Joe Mazzulla is a puppet for Brad Stevens. And in some ways, he's somebody he can control. And maybe he got really burned by the M.A. Adoka experience. And he's like, I just want somebody that I can control, I can use as a puppet. Because I really do feel like Coach Joe is that. And in some ways, that's part of the reason why there's a problem with him. He doesn't think for himself. He's doing everything under the direction of Brad Stevens. And in some ways, that'll hurt in the moment when Brad can't be there right with him on the sideline. And Joe's got to make the decisions for himself in the moment. Yeah, very, very interesting. Duppy's here. Good to see you, Amari. Celtics are easily a top 3 East team, probably higher. Robert Williams doesn't impact the game when he's only on the court 35 games last year. Yeah, somebody was saying that before, but once again, that was just last year. I'm telling y'all, he's more important than you think. And he's a favorite. He's a fan favorite. That's the other thing. The Celtics got rid of a bunch of their fan favorites. And, listen, I'm going to put this propaganda out no matter what. You can disagree with me, but what the fuck? I'm trying to hurt the Celtics. So let's go in this direction. I think I'm going to be right in the end. Seriously. I think I'm going to be more right about the Celtics this year than the NBA media machine. I'll put my bet on it. Seriously. So we'll see what happens by Christmas. I think the Celtics are going to disappoint people. People are going to be really shocked at how they are not doing well. It's going to cause problems for Coach Joe. The fans are going to turn on him, and there's going to be a lot of chaos. That is exactly what I predict for them this year. Once again, I'll say this. You do not replace Robert Williams III with Kristaps Porzingis and expect good defense. That man is a wicker man. He's fake. He's a fraud. And like I said in Scottie's Twitch yesterday, Porzingis carries a suitcase full of L's with him, no matter where he goes. He was in New York, and that was an L team when he was on it. He went to Dallas, and he played with Luka, and he still managed to make that team an L team. Washington for sure an L team. And I'm just going to say this again. Porzingis has a losing effect on teams. He doesn't add to winning. Let's just put it that way. Robert Williams adds to winning more than Porzingis does. And you guys can say he was hurt last year, but don't worry about last year. Let's talk about the years before that and how key and crucial Robert Williams III was to the Celtics defense and the things that he does for them. Not to mention, he's their Time Lord. And he's the one that they like to brag because they get to see him do such crazy things. Don't get it twisted. Their defense is worse without Robert Williams III around, Grant Williams, or Marcus Smart. Sure, Drew Holiday is a little bit going back the other way, but otherwise their defense is way worse this year than last year. You're going to find this, Amari. Watch. I'll stake my claim on this. And I may be in the minority in the whole world of the NBA saying this, but I'm not biased for the Celtics. And that is part of it. And sure, you can say, well, you're biased against them. Well, that's true too. But once again, we're doing the work that they do towards us, towards them. And that's part of what I'm doing right now. I want to open the realm of possibility that I'm going to be completely right. And if I am, y'all come back and tell me that I am, please. Please, yeah. Michael Villanueva saying, who will win, Toronto or Cairns Taipans? Well, Michael, I'm going to tell you right now, if you want to put a bet on it, put it on Toronto for sure. I'm telling you that Cairns Taipans have only 9 players, and none of them are over 6'9". So we don't even need Jakob Poeltl. We don't need any of our big guys. We could beat them with our third string today. We could not start our whole starting lineup. We could start Marquee, Grady, Javon Freeman Liberty, Mogi, and Maker, and we'd beat their ass today. Yeah, we would. We don't even need Scottie. We don't need any of them. So I want to see Jeff Dowtin Jr. I want to see Ron Harper Jr. I want to see Mohamedou Gueye. I want to see those guys playing today. That's right. Cowboy saying alley-oop for race mode. Yeah, for sure. Race mode was awesome yesterday. And what he said was so nice. And I really appreciate it. I'm going to give him 2 dunks. Yeah, that was awesome. Fiercely saying Lex, a.k.a. the ultimate Raptor freak, he shall not be named. It was funny. The guy kept pushing Robert in there. And I was like, you don't need Robert. They were trying to say, we need to replace Doug Smith with Misovich. I was like, whoa, no, get Jake's takes. And I started talking about Jake's takes. And everybody in there was like, who's Jake's takes? And I started putting Jake's takes on blast. And all these people were like, I'm going to go check him out. And I was like, yeah, he did an interview with Darko recently. It's the best interview anybody's done with Darko this preseason. So, yeah, go give a follow to Jake's takes. So I was putting Jake's takes on blast over Panser. It was hilarious. Everybody's like, forget about Panser. They wanted to talk about Jake's takes. Nako the Nacho saying Celtics also lost a whole lot of depth. Al Horford ain't getting younger. I love that. See, this is exactly the kind of stuff I want added in here. This is true. Somebody brought it up in Scottie's Twitch chat yesterday that the front line is very thin for the Celtics this year without Robert Williams around, because now you got Porzingis and Al Horford, and both those guys could have injury problems. I'm sorry, Cornette and whoever else is coming up underneath them ain't going to be the same. So there are different places where the Celtics could get in a lot of trouble this year. And if there's any injury to some of their big guys, yeah, there's going to be problems. And then once again, I'm going to say this, y'all. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are propped up by the toughness of Grant Williams and Marcus Smart. Well, they're gone. These dudes are going to be totally different this year. In some ways, these guys are pretenders. They've been hyped up so high up by the media machine that people believe way bigger things than they are. And they're going to be exposed this year. Watch. Without no Marcus Smart next to them, that dog mentality and that toughness and that fight, these dudes are kind of pretty boys. And they don't do a lot of that dirty work that Grant and Marcus were doing for them. So this is another area that they're going to see. And the Celtics fans are going to be like, whoa, we're not as good in this area as we were last year because Grant's gone, because Marcus is gone. And people don't realize how important those kind of heart and soul players are to a team and the way they work. They're going to find out. They're going to find out real quick how much they miss them. Trust me. Some of the fans knew right away. They're like, why are we trading Marcus Smart to Memphis? This is stupid. Some Celtics fans really do understand that this is a problem on the down low. And the other ones can be all like, ooh, shiny new toys for Porzingis. Ooh, Drew Holiday. But they understand they lost a lot also this summer. They lost a lot. ZZ saying, I'm not buying the Celtics. I think they will be bounced in the first round. It could very well be, ZZ, that they're a good regular season team. They have a pretty good record in the regular season, but I have no faith in them in the playoffs. We saw kind of what happened with them. Like I said, Coach Joe was exposed. Spoelstra coached circles around him. That Heat team was not better than the Celtics. That Heat team beat a whole bunch of teams that had no business beating last year in the playoffs. And that's what I'm saying. Celtics fans are very fickle and they want wins right away. And if that team does not win, Coach Joe's in the hot seat right away. Watch. Coach Joe's right in the hot seat because they don't have a whole lot of confidence in him in the playoff level. They really don't. Seriously, he screwed them up. And then he did this interview with JJ Redick recently, and he's talking about Milwaukee. That's so sad that he got bounced like that. And then JJ turns around and says, yeah, you got bounced by them too, you idiot. He's like, Cowboys saying it's going to be a close game, Michael. I don't think so. No, Cowboy, don't give him false information. Okay. Give him false information. No, it's not going to be like it's not going to be good. Go all in on the Taipans? What? Yeah, no. All right, let me see what else you guys are saying. Hilarious. All right, and I do want to cut off because I want to get ready for the game. Let's see. I want to make sure I don't miss any comments. Oh, yeah, you guys filled it up good. I like it. All right, let's see. Nameless is saying Cairns Taipans by 20. Easy. Okay, that's not good information. G saying the true. Williams only played 35 games, but Porzingis is also injury prone. And the backup is 37-year-old Horford. I think Horford is great, but he's getting up there. Yeah, I agree. Fiercely saying at Duppy, agreed with Williams as he is often injured, but losing the other Williams and Smart will definitely impact the team. Brogdon, talented, but his attitude was an issue. He's going to be a factor just because he was helpful to them last year. Malcolm actually really helped them last year. And I was surprised how they're like, yeah, we don't care about you. You can go away. Because in some ways he helped a lot. ZZ saying they didn't just lose Rob Williams. They let go of Malcolm Brogdon, Marcus Smart, Grant Williams, and including Rob Williams, very important pieces. Celtics were a good team, not anymore. Yeah, I don't think they have that depth. And honestly, that is kind of like their finals, core. That's like their finals core. A lot of like Grant Williams and Marcus Smart were so important to these finals runs, getting to the finals in these years, in recent years. They don't understand how this is important, and ZZ seeing it. ZZ seeing it, yeah. Nako saying, I think the Celtics will be good till they won't, if that makes sense. Listen, I think that they may get exposed early, and this may start very early in the season. I don't think it'll start later. I think it's going to start before Christmas, and we'll see. We'll see if I'm right, but it may not. It may be something that goes on, and it goes all the way to the end of the season, and then in the playoffs he fails, and then they're all like, we can't. We got to get rid of him. He's no good. Let's see. Name is saying the wheels gonna fall off. Not go. That's right. That's right. ZZ saying, I don't think Tatum can actually win games, just him and Brown. It's always been their great defense and playing as a collective when teams figure out the two. See, ZZ's saying something more clearly and coherently that I've been trying to say just now. That is exactly what I'm trying to say to y'all. That in some ways they need that toughness in the defense to prop them up. In some ways, the Celtics aren't really, they get into scoring like matches with people. Now, if their defense isn't as good this year, where they can shut people down and that's how they win it, they're going to be in trouble. If people can score on them real easy, watch. They're going to be in trouble. I'm excited to see our system against them because in some ways our system is going to be totally different and they may not know how to handle us with what Darko's doing with the 0.5 offense. They may not. Nako's agreeing with Nameless. Fiercely saying that Tom Duke holding it down the West, getting up for the live stream. Respect and appreciated. I listened later yesterday, but it's not the same. Love interacting with the fam. There you go, Fiercely. We love when you're able to be here live. But of course, if you have to watch us later on, I always recommend watching at 1.5 speed. The stream goes way quicker. If it's a 2-hour stream, then it's like just over an hour. And you can understand me at 1.5 speed pretty good. Superfan Mo's saying, Dennis videos are always chef's kiss for me and Lex. Yeah, they're awesome. They're so rich with detail and interesting stuff in them. And I'm glad Alex has gotten rid of the Celtics gear. And, Keith is a cool guy. I'm finding out more and more about Keith, his trainer, and his basketball acumen and what he's doing with Dennis. And I appreciate it. I really do. Kareem saying, which player today are y'all excited to see the most? For me, it's Jalen McDaniels, Maker, and Grady Dick. Yeah. I'd like to see Jeffrey Doughton Jr. out there today. He's one person I really want to see coming back from his ankle injury. I want to see Jeff do good stuff. I do also want to see Maker. Maker is definitely somebody I want to see have a big time here. He, of course, played in the NBL a couple years ago for the Sydney Kings against the Cairns Taipans. So he's familiar somewhat. He says he knows Bull Cole, but he really doesn't know most of their players. But he knows the NBL. And in some ways, that means Maker is definitely going to be playing a lot today. Probably will be playing a lot today. I'd like to see more Grady today, too. And Marquee. And Javon Freeman Liberty will be a lot of fun today, too. Watch. It'll be a lot of fun. Fiercely saying, I also think he was at Drake's. Great content from Dennis and his buddy. Listen to you, Lex. No Celtics gear at OVO. Well, I probably wasn't the only one who made a hissy fit about that or made a big deal. I'm sure that they got comments and questions from different people about why Alex was wearing that Shamrock stuff in our building the other day. And yeah, they cut that out real quick. Yeah, I think Dennis's content's awesome and it's coming out really quick. And people, it's funny because this is the thing I realized. He has so many German fans. You see when he puts his content out, all the comments are in German. Y'all, we're going to have a huge contingency of German fans following our team this year. And big time Raptors country is going to be Germany now with Dennis being on our team. So that's one of the fun things about being such an international team in the NBA is we get pockets of like really diehard Raptor fans in other international places because we cross paths with players like Jakob in Austria or Dennis in Germany, Yuta Watanabe in Japan. We gain international fans by being a national team. And our German fan quotient has gone through the roof. Let's just put it that way. And they really love our facilities. I can't read all the German comments, but they're saying like this is cool. They honestly they see the Drake symbol, they see OVO, and they're like, wow. They understand that this is the top level NBA stuff, and the German fans are very excited for him being on the Raptors. So we got a whole bunch of new German Raptor fans. And if y'all are German Raptor fans of Dennis Schroeder that have found me, thank you for coming here. And Achtung, I'll be on every morning at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. So you can see me. I don't know what time it is in Germany at that time. It's probably later in the afternoon for you to watch me. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Let's see. Tom Duke saying, cheers, Fiercey, and have the best day. I love that burning heart. That's crazy. Cowboys saying, Maker, Grady, Gee, and Flynn. Yeah, alley-oop to Fiercey. All right. All right, Bradley. You want an alley-oop to Fiercey? There you go. Alley-oop got it to Fiercey. Yeah, those are a good list of players that you want to see today, Bradley. Maker, Grady Dick, Mogi, and Malachi Flynn, who's somebody we're going to need to see step up. Scottie talking a little bit about Malachi yesterday, saying he's got a flamethrower. That's the one thing he said about Malachi. When he got brought up on his Twitch stream yesterday, he said, yeah, Malachi's got a flamethrower, is what he said. Let's see. Mo's saying SGA gifted Drake a signed jersey. That's awesome. Very good to see. SGA is hilarious. In a recent clip, they did something with the Oklahoma City guys. They're saying, how Oklahoma are you? And they're asking questions about Oklahoma City to SGA and Lou Dort and other Thunder players. And SGA did not get a single damn question. He is not Oklahoma, y'all. He is not in the least Oklahoma. He did not get a single one of the damn questions right. And I appreciate you. You're Canadian, bro. You are Hamilton, Toronto, baby. And you will be always. And maybe you'll come back and play for our franchise here. I'd love to see it, Shay. I would. Name is saying, I want to see Flynn log heavy minutes tonight. Maybe. But I really do think this is the game. There's always a game in preseason that has kind of a chump team you're playing. And this is the one for sure. And these are the games that are intended to get the deep bench look. You know, Scottie yesterday, they were joking. They're like, Scott, you're going to play 35 minutes tomorrow? He's like, I'm like, he's not going to play 35 minutes tomorrow against the Taipans, y'all. He may not even play. He may show up and be like, I'm going to play, coach. And Darko's like, you don't have to play today, Scottie. You don't have to play. But he's young, and he probably will get to play today for sure. Probably. He said he's going to. He says he wants to. And I don't want to deny Scott what he wants. If he wants to play today, Darko, let him play. But maybe you only let him play 10 minutes. The first 10 minutes a game, and then you're out for the rest of the night. You're done. Because honestly, he's not necessary for tonight. He really, really isn't. Infamous is saying, salute, freaks. Lex, I think you're wrong about the Celtics, and I'm willing to make you a friendly wager on it. Well. All right. Listen, I don't do money bets on anything. If I did, I'd probably be a more wealthy person. I'm an addictive personality. Once I do bets with money, it's a slippery slope for me. We can do a friendly wager as far as just for who's right and wrong. All right, we'll see. We'll see who's right. Now, this is what I'm saying. If the Celtics can sail the ship and be positive and be a juggernaut and be the top team in the East, like top 3, or I'll say top 2. They have to be one of the top 2 teams. If they're not one of the top 2 teams and they're below that, it's because of dysfunction in what I've been talking about. So they have to be a top 2 team. If they're not one of the top 2 teams in the East by New Year's Eve, then I win this bet. How about that? If the Celtics are not one of the top 2 teams in the East by New Year's Eve, even if they're third, if there's 2 teams that are above them, they have to be one of the top 2 teams for y'all to be right. How about that? Because that's what all y'all are saying, that they're one of the top 2 teams. So if they're not one of the top 2 teams, could I be right? Even if they're third or fourth? Yeah, I could be right because that's not as high as they were supposed to be. So we'll have to see. We'll see how it goes, Infamous. I'll take that bet, but no money exchange. Nameless is saying we have to take the training wheels off this motherfucker. Okay. Cairns Taipans will win the game? No, Michael. Don't listen to these people in this chat just being silly. No, they're not. Nameless saying, yeah, by 20. No, the Raptors are going to win by 70 today. That's what's going to happen. You really want to put a bet in? Bet on the Raptors to go over 50 on beating them. Yeah. Cowboy saying, have your bets, Michael. $50, $500, at least 20 points. Yeah, higher. That's right. They can't beat Toronto. Michael, they can't beat Toronto. Seriously, Michael, if you're making a bet, don't bet on Cairns. Don't listen to these guys in here. They're just being silly. Yeah, no, they can't beat Toronto. They won't beat us today. Yeah, there's no way they're going to beat us today. I'm going to tell you that right now. Darko very excited about Real Madrid beating Dallas the other day, and he was so gleeful about it. It was weird in the interview. He was talking about that. He's like, "Yeah, I haven't watched much of the preseason, but I did watch Dallas versus Real Madrid." And he's very proud of the fact that Real Madrid beat Dallas. And he said, this is one of the best teams in the world. They're no slouch. And, in some ways, he's like on the side of FIBA and wanting international play to come up and show that they're on an equal footing with the NBA in certain ways. And that victory by Real Madrid earlier this week against the Mavericks kind of symbolizes it. And you could see Darko was a little gleeful about Real Madrid beating them. So very, very cool. Very, very cool. Let's see. Mo's saying, I was joking yesterday about you and Scottie's bond, Lex. It's funny how excited you get, though. Listen, I mean, seriously, you got to understand, I'm a man who's approaching 50. I grew up in the 80s. I grew up in a world before the internet, before cell phones. And there's no way in my life even when we had Vince Carter way back, that I thought I would ever have access to one of the most important Raptors in our history like this. Seriously, this is insane. Like, this is, if you told me, like, when I was a kid, the Jetsons were going to be the future with cars in space and like robot maids and little like conveyor belt like ways to walk around, I've been like, yeah, that's more likely. But no, telling me that I could be interacting with the Raptors Rookie of the Year, Scottie Barnes, on a regular basis, and he knows who I am. If you told me that like when I was a kid, I'd be like, holy crap, no, there's no way. So I do fanboy about this a bit, partly because my whole life I grew up in the era before the internet. We didn't have computers when I was a little kid. I didn't think that this was possible. So in some ways, being in my late 40s and having this be able to happen, it absolutely blows my mind. Seriously, sometimes like you guys say, "Oh, I pinch me." Like I said last summer, when we spent so much time with Scottie, I spent like over 200 hours of my summer with him. I said this was one of the best summers of my life, even though I was on call for him to watch his Twitch all the time, because I got to spend a summer with the Rookie of the Year of the Raptors and get to know him. And he actually knows who I am too. I mean, I have to pinch myself about this sometimes. I'm like, yeah, that hurt. That did hurt what I just did. And it's real. I can't believe it sometimes. That's what I'm saying. That's why this is so weird to me, Mo. It's so weird and crazy to me. Michael's saying, who will win tomorrow? Tomorrow? You mean Tuesday? Chicago. No, not Chicago. The Raptors. We're playing Chicago. Yeah, we're going to beat Chicago in the United Center. We'll see. Yeah. Let's see. Infamous is saying, after watching Dennis's video, he needs to hire a personal chef. No. His personal chef is his wife, Ellen. Listen, in some ways, they want to be a normal family. They don't want a whole bunch of people around. I mean, they already have a lot of people around, but they're more like family. Mikey and Joel and Alex. But Ellen is still a mother, and it's important for her to take care of her family, like do the chores and like cook meals for them. So it's very much a family thing. And Dennis loves her cooking. When there's like, how are those garlic Parmesan fries, Dennis? They're delicious. So I mean, I get it. Maybe they need I don't know. I think that she does a good job because also she's conscious with health. So she's probably not feeding Dennis like awful food all the time or anything like that. I mean, look at the man. He's shredded. He's ripped. It's not like this man has bad health and food choices. The man is in tip-top shape. So, yeah, I don't know if they need to hire a chef. Ellen likes having a job, like being the wife and just doing, traditional wife stuff around the house with the kids. So Tom Duke's saying, what did he give to Grady? It was a cologne. Tillier drip. It's the thing he keeps promoting on his Instagram like crazy. In fact, why don't we do this real quick? He gave Grady the Atelier drip. He ran out there and got cologne. So, all right, basically, Dennis is in the OVO Center on his Instagram wearing the Toronto Raptors basketball shirt. Hard work always pays off, is what he's saying there. Then there's a picture of the drip. Like I'm talking about, this Atelier drip is all over his social media, and maybe it's all over Grady Dick now. Let's see. Also, he's asking whether his team in Braunschweig are going to win or not. Yes or no in a poll. Mr. New York City showing us his apartment here in Toronto just a little bit. Some nice art on the walls. Then he's showing you'll never guess what is on the big screen when the ball flies through. Oh, it's that picture of the King of Queens making that face. That's hilarious. Then there's a picture of Marquee. It looks like he might be in New York. I'm not totally sure if he's in New York or Toronto, but he's outside hooping and he's meeting fans. And they're like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm Mr. New York City." And she's putting it on his phone, on her phone. And she's like, "Oh, okay, cool." And Slim Duck has got a picture of him at practice with the coaches and all kinds of goofy, funny stuff. Who did this to my grandma? Monique's putting on blast the Looney Tunes OVO Raptors collaboration. Very interesting. And also, there's a Pokemon crossover. It looks like Monique has put up NBA times Pokemon crossover jerseys also. Thad Young's got Fall Into Reform. He's got some reform transportation event going on. Scottie Barnes outside last night after the Twitch or before the Twitch with his hair up. His hair is looking really long and like out the back. It looked cool yesterday. He, like I said, he had a lot of fun hanging out with Nardo. They were playing 2K and just having a blast. And he was listening to music. Like I said, he was listening to Kai Jones and his song. Okay, well, thanks for the Instagram check right there. All right, let's keep going. Michael saying, who will win, Toronto or Cairns? Toronto's going to win. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Go all in on the Taipans. No, don't tell him that. Don't tell him that. Michael, don't listen to them. Please, please. They're the same price, Lex. We're the same price. I'm not even sure. The cookies are still the same price. The Subway cookies are still 3 for $2. Oh, Dennis was talking about, oh, those were the days. I guess you can still get 3 cookies for $2 at Subway. That's pretty good. Let's see. Nameless never loses. Okay. An alley-oop to Nameless. Why? What did he do? Nameless is being wacky. All right, let's keep going in the chat. Stargate saying, last time we had one of our players compared to KD, it didn't go very well. He is still 2 years away from being 2 years away. You're talking about Maker? Yeah, I don't see Maker as being like KD. I look at him as being like a very tall double-double machine is what it looks like to me with a little bit of ball handling. I don't think that those other skills are important. And he's not known for his shooting. He's never going to shoot like KD. But he's a pretty effective scorer. And once again, the rebounding too. I'm telling you, he's a double-double machine. He's those kind of players. Maker is a double-double machine. Jimmy Pope saying, well, Washington won by like 60 against the guys. So we should win. Yeah, they beat them badly. And we should do the same. In fact, that's probably the fun of today. We're going to just go down there and see like a glorified scrimmage because they are going to kill them. They're very much going to kill them really badly. Yeah. All in on Cairns Taipans. You go ahead, Michael. You go ahead. Oh, my gosh. Cool Cat's here. Good morning, Raptor Freak family. Game day. So excited. Yes, Cool Cat. I love it. And Cool Cat's saying, it seems like another former Celtics coach, Damon Stoudemire, seems embroiled in another affair situation. Oh, Damon Stoudemire, our original Roy, in trouble with a scandal? I don't like that. I don't want to put it on blast. I'm not going to look at it. I'm not going to talk about it. It is Raptors related, but in some ways I don't want to hurt Mr. Stoudemire because he's one of our legends. So I don't know. Maybe I'll go investigate and find out. But in some ways I don't want to. Stargate saying Duppy coming with that pro Celtics argument again. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. We love Omari. Omari's just, Omari's Omari. We can have different opinions. It's all good. Anybody wants to stand the Celtics here, go ahead, but realize there will be pushback. Still be pushback. There just will be. Cream saying, hang on, it jumped ahead. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, wow. A lot of people here. If I see Ron Harper Jr. catch and shoot, I'm going to lose my shit. I need to see more from him, honestly. Yeah, I want to see Ron get in the game and have a good game today. It's too bad he didn't get to play in the first game, but I'm sure he'll get to play today. He's going to get to play today. Yeah. Fiercely saying, just saw Scottie confirmed once again he's 6'10" on Twitch, while NBA still lists him at 6'8". Amazing you put Jake's takes on blast. Yeah, of course. That young man's doing a good job. I'm doing a service letting people know about him because honestly, he has great interviews and not just with just NBA players. He's talking to MLB players. He's talking to NHL players. He's talking to NFL players. He's getting people from all sports, coaches, players alike, even broadcasters from time to time. And that Darko interview right there is enough for people to go watch that and they'll be like, this kid's for real. He needs to replace Doug Smith. That's what we were saying in Scottie's Twitch yesterday. It's like we need to replace Doug Smith with Jake's takes. That's right. And yes, Scottie said he's 6'10" once again yesterday. He said it very clearly. David Saborn saying, who's coming? I don't know who's going to come down there, David. It's wide open. Hopefully, at least you'll be there. If I just go to the game with you guys, is that a big deal? No, I have no problem with just going to the game with the Saborn brothers. That would be awesome. Mo's saying, I'm going to wait until the home opener. Yeah, she's not doing preseason, but she'll be there from Minnesota a week from this Wednesday. Yeah, she'll be there. Tom Duke saying he wishes he was going to be coming. Have fun, David. Yeah, we wish you're going to be here too, Tommy, but you'll be here soon enough when we go play Milwaukee and Boston in the in-season tournament. That's right. Yeah, and Tom Duke's got Mo on blast, and there's the cutoff. I appreciate that. David's saying, Cowboy, get over there. Yeah, I hope that Cowboy will come down too. That would be awesome. It would see Bradley and you guys together. Duppy's laughing. Country Con saying, good morning, Raptors freaks. Lex, good on you for encouraging Scottie. Bummed I missed it, but I'm glad the Raptor freaks represented. Keep encouraging Scottie. Leaf fans don't want us to have another parade. Yeah, and it's not even like, you know what, call it whatever you want. Dick riding, meat riding, glazing, whatever, brown nosing, ass kissing. This dude is our franchise player, and this is a big deal. This guy's going to be a huge, huge part of the Raptors' history in the end of it. And I'm sorry if I want to show him the due respect that he deserves as the great athlete and talent that he is. In some ways, words of encouragement are much better than cynical kind of like, I'd much rather say stuff. Well, Scottie can do whatever the fuck he wants. He can be on the court and do whatever he wants. Oh, this is what it was. They were trying to tell Scottie that he couldn't be Spider-Man. And I'm like, what? And then he was trying to say, what? I can't be Spider-Man because I'm black, is what he was talking to the chat. And I was like, and that's when I said, Scottie can be whoever the fuck he wants to be. It's his world. We just live in it, is what I said. And that's when they started accusing me of being an ass kisser. Well, I mean, I just said what I believe. Scottie can be whoever he wants. He's going to go on the court and show that very soon. In some ways, he's got that LeBron level of being like, I'm going to be whatever I fucking want on the court. Y'all can't stop me. And it's coming. It's coming. They're going to be ready. They aren't going to be ready. We're going to be ready for it. Fiercely saying Celtics may need to change their logo from Shamrock to garbage. See, I like those kind of comments. Unnecessarily mean to them. I like it. I like it. Cowboys saying, I'm going to try, David. All right, cool. Bradley, please get down there. I'm going to smoke a little J with you before we go in. And seriously, Bradley, if it's about this, don't worry about that. I got you. You come down there. If you show your face down there, I will make you sure you get in there if it's about that. Because I got you, bro. I got you. I want to get you back. And maybe I'll buy you your ticket today if you get down there. So, Race Mode saying that Cowboy, thanks for the alley-oop. Duppy saying, I remember Lex begging for Drew to go to San Antonio because him on Boston is a problem for the Raptors. Now it's the Celtics got worse. Brown and Tatum are elite two ways, and Drew is a defensive player of the year level. Except Drew makes way better decisions, no offense on offense than Smart did. Okay, I'm going to break this down fairly. All right, listen, I was politicking to have Drew Holiday go to the Spurs because I thought that was a better fit. And of course, I don't want him in the Eastern Conference. I said that about him going to Boston being a problem, but that was without knowing who would be going the other way. And in some ways, that is part of the issue. I know that you don't value Robert Williams as much as I do, but I really do. Like, he was one of the few Celtics I actually liked and thought that he's a really good player. I feared Robert Williams III to a degree on the Celtics. I don't anymore. In fact, I fear Robert Williams being on the Celtics more than Drew Holiday being on the Celtics. In fact, Drew Holiday being on the Celtics symbolizes that the Bucks may be a little worse this year. In some ways, that's the thing. This whole shuffle up and deal and put them all in different places does not necessarily make teams better. Sometimes the bonds that you break that were already there were more important than the new ones you're trying to forge. And losing Drew Holiday and gaining Dame Lillard, I don't even think that is necessarily an upgrade. Seriously, I think that the Bucks are going to miss Holiday immensely. Now, him going there, is this Holiday make up for Marcus Smart, Grant Williams, Robert Williams, and Malcolm Brogdon? No. And that's the whole reason why I said that. There's been too much coming out of the Celtics team, and it's not being made up. Not to mention, nobody's talking about this, the Danilo Gallinari revenge tour. He is pissed at the Celtics, and he's going to be coming after them. Watch. He's going to be coming after them. He's on the Wizards, but he is pissed at them, and he's got a grudge against them. Watch. So if I explain it that way, it's really because of who all left at this point. I'm looking at who's on the roster for the Celtics. In some ways, they're not as deep as they were last year. They're definitely not as deep as they were last year. In some ways, I don't get it, Omari. Why are you standing the Celtics so hard? Maybe I should have given you the Celtics in our in-season tournament. I didn't realize you were such a big Celtics fan. Yeah, I will agree with that part that Drew does make better offensive decisions than Marcus Smart. But once again, he's a heart and soul kind of guy, Marcus Smart. I think Drew will be fine, and he may be pretty good for them. But in some ways, once again, we know my purpose and what I'm doing with this. Seriously, Omari, we'll open up the realm of possibility, and I'm just fighting that perception more. Once again, Daryl's here. Good to see Daryl Turner. It's been a little bit. Raptor Freak Daryl Turner was stepping in and saying hi. Hey, morning, Raptor Freaks. The Celtics, Bucks, Hawks, and Sixers all look weak as far as quality bench depth is concerned. The Raptors, Cavs, Knicks, and Nets have the most quality bench depth. I like this, what Daryl's saying. I'll agree about this with a couple of these teams. You know, the way the Sixers, maybe not. The Sixers do have an interesting team, but it's whether they can gel or get it together. They have a lot of turnover. They're new guys. And maybe if Danny Green's expected to be one of their rotation guys, maybe you are very right. Yeah, I won't disagree with anything Daryl's saying here. This is fine with me. I love it. David's saying Drew is a defensive player of the year type. Wow, that's exciting news. You coming to the game, Duppy? He won Defensive Player of the Year a couple times. He is considered one of the best defenders at point guard. So that's true. Fiercely saying at Kareem, I'm excited to see and cheer for McDaniels, Doughton, Maker, Javon Freeman, Liberty, Gee, Grady. I need Malachi to step up when playing against an NBA team. Assessing him against the Taipans is not an indicator. Yeah, Fiercely already say Malachi could do his pro-am stuff. But you're playing against high schoolers, something like that. Let's see. Duppy saying he was second in first place votes for Defensive Player of the Year. Yeah, Drew's been the Defensive Player of the Year, and he's considered one of the best defenders at guard for sure. G saying CJ Miles is high on Jalen McDaniels. Yeah, Amit Man and CJ Miles put in a content out recently, and where CJ is really like, watch out for Jalen McDaniels. He's coming. And he's not the only one who's been saying this. There's a few people that I've heard very much saying high expectations for Jalen McDaniels and what he could possibly be for the Raptors. And it's something that people aren't paying attention to around the league because it's not a big flashy name. And it actually may have a huge impact for our team. So that's very interesting to me. Duppy saying 94 first place votes. I fully said top 3 in the East. Okay, see, there you go. We'll just have to see, y'all. I took the bet with somebody else. If the Celtics are not one of the top 2, I'm not going to give them 3 because they better be top 2. It should be them in Milwaukee. If it's somebody else other than those 2 teams and somebody took the Celtics spot, that's different. If it's the Raptors up there in the top 2 with the Milwaukee Bucks and the Celtics are number 3, let's just say if the Raptors are anywhere above the Celtics, I win for sure. Let's see, if the Raptors are above the Celtics in the standings, I just automatically win. How about that? Because that's what I'm saying. The Celtics aren't as good as people. And in some ways, I'm saying that we're better than them is what I'm saying. So we'll see where we're at. We'll see where we're at. Let's see. G saying Drew is a great player and probably better than Smart. But in my opinion, Smart was like their Kyle. Heart and soul. He had intangibles that they lost. Exactly. Now, Drew has intangibles also, but they're a little bit different. And maybe they're less destructive as Marcus Smart's in some ways. But still, you guys have to realize that the intangibles we lost from Kyle leaving are going to be felt by Boston this year. And it's not just one guy like that. Grant Williams had that same kind of baggage for them as far as being a very tenacious, important a trendsetter. Like he's an attitude guy. He's a guy who goes out there and sets the physicality for the Celtics. Is anybody going to be doing that this year? I don't know. And that could very much be something they miss. Is part of what I'm saying. Trevor Jason, I will donate a Pascal jersey for the bet, Lex. What? Don't do that, Trevor J. Seriously, I don't want to encourage this kind of behavior on here. So don't make any weird, crazy big prize because then everybody's going to try and make bets with me, Trevor. And I don't want you to have to buy jerseys like crazy if that's the standard. So please do not do this. Please do not do this, Trevor J. As benevolent and kind as it is, please don't. We'll make it for something more important at some point, but not for this bet. And in some ways, if I win, that's great. You're giving me a Pascal jersey, but I don't want this channel about that. I really don't. I appreciate the gesture, though. I really do. MK's joined as a member. Awesome to see Meredith upgrading to being a member again. And Dana's saying we're older than Google. Yeah, yeah, I'm older than Google. I've got like I'm in a weird generation. I'm on that straddles on both sides. I grew up with no cell phones. I had a bike and I rode up and down the street with my friends and played forts and did things that kids just don't do anymore partly because they have devices. There's a lot of difference between when I grew up down in Tallahassee to how kids are growing up these days. It's a very different world. It's very interesting. Infamous is saying you're edging Lex. The Celtics will be top 3 by All-Star break. I don't like saying it, but I have to be honest. Banton will have an impact as well. No money involved for sure. Yeah, I don't know. You think it? We'll see. I think that y'all are just buying into the hype too much, and then I can see where the problems are. The coach is a problem. The toughness is a problem. The defense is a problem. Those 3 right there. The coach is a problem. Seriously. He shouldn't have gotten that job in the first place. I'm going to tell you that right now. They didn't get the right replacement. Let's just put it that way. Tom Duke saying, nice one, MK. Let's grow. Let's grow, row your boat gently down the stream. We are older than Google. That's right, Dana. member for 2 months. Thank you, Dana, for being a member. Tom Duke's got me and the Raptor and Dana on blast. And MK's got us rowing the boat, and the whole crew is in the boat. Cool Cat saying, Lex, I'm with you. Having access to our team players due to technology is exciting. I know. I mean, Cool Cat, I wish you had been there yesterday. Oh my gosh. And I wish you guys could go back and watch it. He's really smart now. He won't let us clip it. They can clip it a little bit. You got to do it right away because there's no remnants of it. It's not like y'all can go back and watch the replays anymore. It really is. You got to be in there in that window with him. And the Karti content yesterday was off the chain. Cool Cat. This was like, I was like saying it in the chat. I was like, man, I wish Cool Cat was here to see all the Karti stuff right now because it was the most Karti stream ever yesterday. He had that dog up in his lap, licking his face, and so much hugging and loving between the dog daddy and the doggy. It was so nice. Paul B saying Raptors by 20 tonight. Let's double that. 40. Let's say 40. Why not 60, Paul B? Let's just say 60. Infamous is saying, did you hear that Lawrence Fishburne will be playing Doc Rivers in an upcoming Clippers movie? Yeah, he's a pretty good casting. Lawrence Fishburne's a great actor, and in some ways he's got to work on Doc's voice. That's really important. He kind of has some facial structure that's similar to Doc. He was like, "Hey guys, get out there." Doc Rivers in some ways is the same voice as Nick Nurse to me. Daryl saying my breakout NBA teams will be above 500. Eastern Conference, Raptors, Magic, and Nets. My above 500 in the Western Conference, Jazz, Lakers, and Rockets. Wow, Daryl, interesting picks. I like that you put us there. The Nets and the Magic are both plausible. I could see that. On the other side, okay, Jazz were already pretty good. I don't see the Rockets. Lakers, probably. I would change the Rockets for the Spurs. How about that? I would say if you could switch the Rockets for the Spurs, I could get behind your list, even though I don't want to see the Magic and the Nets do well. Monique is saying this next. Hang on. No. Love how Blake asked Darko how excited he is about the crowd and Scotiabank Arena, and his eyes popped out. Enthusiasm and excitement is a big part of Darko's energy, and that's part of what's going to keep our team up and positive and happy this season. Watch. Dana's saying Jimmy Emo Butler's headshot makes me laugh every time I see it. Yeah, it's up and everywhere already, and it is funny. And I think a lot of people find it funny. At this point, maybe the NBA will embrace it, unlike they did last year when they kind of hid his dreadlock look that he had last year. Maybe they'll put it on blast this year because they're just saying, oh, Jimmy's doing this, and the fans think it's fun. So who knows? Maybe we'll see it. Maybe we'll see it more often. Cowboy saying, let's go later, Lex. Bam. I hope I see you later, Cowboy. And Daryl saying, hey, guy, I bet on NBA and Europe League and international basketball, and the Raptors are no Dodgers who lose the Diamondbacks. They're going to smoke the Taipans team today. That's right. Daryl Turner is making bets, and he's astute on this. So he's going to say, smart money, Michael, is on the Raptors today. Duppy saying, Dame and Giannis pick and roll will be unstoppable. Yeah, we'll have to see. I have more faith in the Milwaukee Bucks to be a good team this year than the Celtics. I really do. And but some of it's contingent on Griff and his system and how they get along and how it works. In some ways, I'm a little worried about Adrian as far as like how he's going to replace Budenholzer and if there's going to be a difference there that is noticeable, and that in some ways, Giannis really liked Coach Bud. In some ways, I don't think he totally was okay with them firing Coach Budenholzer. So in some ways, part of what he was saying this summer about the team getting better is he's wary of the changes that have happened. Coach Bud was his only coach, and he really liked him. He said a very glowing thing to him when they fired him, and that's one of the things I'm worried about. Is in some ways the comparing of Griffin to Budenholzer is going to be going on in Giannis's head all season. And that may be part of how he's assuaging or gauging whether the team is better now or not. He may be thinking, oh, things were nice and better when Budenholzer was still here. Budenholzer was extremely successful as the coach of the Bucks. They had the best record in the league last year, and he got fired. In some ways, I don't totally agree with them firing Budenholzer like they did. I know that they got beat in the first round. It was embarrassing, but these things happen. And I think it may have been an overreaction by them. And that may be part of the reason why. And Acumto said, I want to make sure this team is working towards winning, because in some ways he may have took the firing of Coach Bud as a step backwards. So he's going to be really paying attention to Griffin. And if Griffin isn't like as successful as Coach Bud in some ways, that may be part of when Giannis says next summer, I don't care y'all got Lillard. I don't care about this or that. You guys are not moving in the right direction, and I want to leave. That could still very well happen. In fact, when I first heard about Lillard going to Milwaukee, that's one of the things that struck me first. Well, this doesn't mean Giannis is going to stay for sure. In fact, this could be part of what pushes him out even more so. So there's no guarantees on anything. And some of it will really depend on how successful Coach Griffin is with the winning percentage for Milwaukee gauged towards the winning percentage of Budenholzer in past years. So most saying W Stream Lex, keep at it as always. Go Raps for life. Daryl saying Robert Williams was becoming an injury liability. Okay. Grant Williams had reached his ceiling, and Marcus Smart had reached all his max contracts. It still doesn't mean, I mean, still their part in the team was important. In some ways, I'm telling you, Brown and Tatum are kind of been propped up more than they really are. And part of it is the toughness of those guys next to them. And we're going to see a difference this year. We really are. And you guys may be shocked at how different it is for them. And y'all will see it, and then you'll be like, holy fuck, Lex was right about the Celtics this year. I'm just going on years and years of watching the NBA and how these things kind of go. I can tell this may go like this. Infamous saying, wait, I didn't agree to that bet. We're not going to do a bet at all. It's just going to be like whether I'm right about the Celtics or not this year. A lot of people are saying that I'm not going to be right. Well, if I am, y'all come and tell me that, okay, Lex, you were right. Fiercely saying at Infamous, no way, damn, rough times for Lawrence. Such a high caliber actor to get a gig for the Clippers. Wonder which production company, Tubi? Well, no, they're doing a movie on Donald Sterling, the owner that was racist of the Clippers. And they have Doc Rivers was the coach of the Clippers at that time. So they just need him to be in there to be the coach involved in that. So Lawrence Fishburne's playing Doc Rivers as a coach of the Clippers during the Donald Sterling saga. So there's like Chris Paul's going to be in this movie. There's going to be an actor playing Chris Paul. There's going to be an actor playing all different Clippers from that time. So yeah, it's actually been in the works for a little bit, and we knew this before that Lawrence Fishburne was going to be playing Doc Rivers. Yeah, Stargate saying, me too. I'm an old fart. Yeah, in some ways we get it. Like we understand. We straddle both sides, the non-technological past with the technological now. Let's see. Cool Cat saying, damn, I missed Karti's session after I harassed him so much on Instagram. Did Karti have on her necklace? Yes. Karti was in the back at first, and Scottie showed Karti. The picture that somebody painted of Karti is back there. And then Karti, he's like, come here, girl. And then like he let Karti get up on the chair with him and sat in the chair with him for like 5-10 minutes, petting the dog and just showing such love, like hugging the dog. It was a Karti Scottie love fest for a little bit there. Daryl saying, Raptor Freak, I'm from Boston, okay? I'm not a trader or a Raptor homer. But I have to agree with you about your assessment on the Raptors prediction. This is interesting. This is Daryl lives in Boston. And listen, whatever your allegiances are or anything, it's fine. Of course, we're pro Raptors and we're very much that. But I love having fans from other places and other things. And this is very interesting to me. So you think there's some merit to some of the things I'm saying right now. Okay. Daryl said, I picked the Rockets over Spurs because of two reasons. Celtics, old coach revenge against the Celtics. That's interesting, MA. Yeah. And then two, your ex-Raptor point guard showing the league that he can lead a young team to promised land. In some ways, I love that idea of Fred being successful and leading the Rockets, but I don't know if that's realistic. I hope that Fred can be successful in some ways, but in some ways, I'm not rooting for the Rockets. But it's interesting what you're saying. So you said the drive of M.A. Adoka and Freddie being there are two big reasons why. Okay. I'll respect that assumption, that prediction, and we'll have to see. Once again, this is the great thing about the beginning of the season. We don't know what's going to happen. We got to see the games played and see what the results are. The reason why I think the Spurs is just because of Wemby. And not only that, on the download, the young Spurs around him are ready to make leaps. We saw it with Vassell the other day. Devin Vassell is a real deal. And holy crap, Scottie was all about FSU yesterday. A lot of Seminole pride yesterday with young Scott Wayne and myself also being a Florida State graduate myself, class of 98. We are very hyped about our football team being so good right now. Florida State has been on a roll. And Scottie is all about it right now. He is very big on. We were said at one point. I wrote it in the comments. I said, "Florida State is back, baby." And Scottie read that comment. He started getting excited. He's like, "Florida State is back, baby!" He said it real loud when I wrote it in, and it was fun because we are the same alma mater, and he is really happy about it. And then, of course, Vassell played for Florida State, and Scottie was really like This is what he did. He watched the Victor highlights live yesterday. Because everybody's like, you should watch Victor, Scottie. He's like, okay, I'll watch Victor. So he put Victor on, and he's watching Victor doing his shit. He's like, wow, that's pretty good. And that one dunk he did where he kind of didn't really leave his feet, and he just slammed it on somebody like with extension. Scottie's like, wow. He saw that, and he's like, holy crap. But he was really impressed with this guy, Vassell. Killing it. And he's like, Florida State, baby. And Nardo was asking him, do you know him? And he's like, yeah, I was at FSU and he was around, and I do know Devin. Yeah. So there was a lot of FSU love on Scottie's Twitch stream yesterday for the football team and also for Devin Vassell. So what I'm saying is, alongside Victor, I think that Sohan and Keldon Johnson and some of those other young guys around him are going to have leaps, and Victor is going to be really good. And that's why I think that they're going to be above 500 team this year. I really, really do. Because Keldon, Jeremy, and Devin are good. And Victor is very good too. He's going to be good right away. So, hey, good stuff, Daryl. And I like that we line up on a lot of stuff we're saying, just not on the Texas teams. Not on the Texas teams. Fiercely saying, I know we said cutoff, but one last thing for me. Anybody knows or remembers why Jimmy Butler hates Adrian Griffin? I saw him mention that a few weeks ago and wondered what transpired between them. I don't know. I think it has something to do with the Bulls. I think it has something to do with when Griff was an assistant coach on the Bulls and Jimmy played for them early in his career. I think it has something to do with that. I think that there is some sort of story, and I don't know it exactly right. I'm not going to bring it up, so I don't know. But if you guys are saying basketball rewinds here, okay, Van Hoot, what's up, man? He got fired right after his brother died, Bud. Yeah, that was messed up too. I didn't like that either. Like, he was in mourning and like they fired him. And like the dude, honestly, he had the best season of all the teams. He steered the Bucks through the season like amazing. It's just that Heat team was a team of destiny, and they had something to go prove to people. And they did it to the Celtics. They did it to the other teams too. It's just they were the first round team that got it. So yeah, I didn't agree with that firing to a degree in some ways. Stargate saying Duppy talking about every other team but the Raptors for the Celtics and the Bucks. It's all good. Let's let it happen the way it's supposed to. Vassell is a good player. He really is. All right, y'all. I got to the end of the chat. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anything I want to talk about today. Once again, our injuries for today. Coach Rajakovic saying yesterday that Otto and Precious and Koloko will not be playing today, and Jakob also. Jakob will not be playing also. I will expect that possibly we may see OG or Precious or Pascal also added to the, just not going to play today, just because it's not necessary. The referees for today's game are Courtney Kirkland, Eric Dalen, and Robert Hussey. They're not the friendliest crew, but it doesn't matter. We're playing the Taipans, and they're chumps. All right, y'all. If you, once again, come on down the arena. I'll be there at 420 out front in Jurassic Park. We'll go to the game together. I'm going to walk to the arena today. It's one of these rituals I do to start the season. I like to walk from my house through downtown Toronto to the Scotiabank Arena to build that energy, to bring the energy of the city, of the Six, with me by hitting the path. Not taking no TTC, not taking no Uber, no cab, walking down the sidewalk to that building and saying hi to the people I meet and bringing that momentum and the footpath, hitting the street and walking down the game. So I'm going to be walking down there at 420. If you want to go to the game, meet me out front at Jurassic Park. I'll be outside. Just say, hey, Raptorsfreak, I want to go to the game with you. And boom, we'll go to the ticket box and we'll get some tickets. That's right. Daryl saying, also, before I cut out, any opinions on WNBA Game 3? I will say this. Vegas Aces going to win today. And I don't know. Is it a best of 7? They got to win 2 more or just 1 more? They're going to win the championship again. Becky Hammond's team is just a lot better. So if you want to make a bet on that one, Michael, bet on the Vegas Aces. That's probably a smart one. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching me again today. Previews and reactions all season long. We're just getting started for this amazing new season with our new coach, Darko. And tomorrow we'll do a reaction to the game. And then Tuesday, a preview for Chicago's game in Chicago at the United Center. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching me. And please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Give a Basketball Rewind a follow. Why not? And if you want to join the channel also as a member, membership does have its privileges. You could win the Trevor J. Cup. All right, y'all. Thanks again. I hope I see some of y'all today down at the arena. I'll be there, and I hope to see y'all for sure. All right, let's go Raptors. Let's beat the Cairns Taipans. Cairns Taipans. Yeah, Adam Ford, don't you try and fight none of our players. Nah, you gonna wait around the locker room for one of us? No. This ain't no Aaron Baines mess. No, it ain't. You don't try that shit here. No, you don't, Adam Ford.